Do you guys want me to jump into this? The Neo75? So just so everyone's aware, the Neo75 was sent out by QWERTY Keys Neo. They are letting me keep this. This is a sponsored stream, so you guys are aware. Is that going to stop me from being honest? Nope. I've been very, very brutal with Neo keyboards in the past, and I'm not going to stop today. Looks like it comes in a hard shell. We're going to go through the entire document together because there's a lot to digest with the document. So, the Neo75. It's a 75% keyboard. They did mention this when they were speaking to me about it. It is kind of focused in on using some copper. The CU series is what they're calling it. You guys will see. I think I ended up getting a copper one today. I believe mine was silver and copper. It's a nice looking board. You guys will see the side profile. We'll see the side profile once we open this. I don't know if you guys care too much to read about the appearance and design, but it features a non-exploded 75, which I love. I think that's awesome. And you guys will see again, it's a beautiful design. I actually think this is one of their better looking keyboards. And I like the fact, and you can already tell just by looking at these small photos over here, you can already tell that Neo's doing a lot more thoughtful designs opposed to just kind of slapping some stuff together. No offense to their other keyboards. It does have a ball catch structure and magnetic connectors, pretty standard fare with most of the Neo keyboards these days. And then we have dual mounting systems. New to this keyboard, you're gonna have your gasket, isolated bottom mount, which I have not used in a long time. We're gonna see. I don't know what they said about this one here, but bottom mount and other hard affixed structures have recently fallen out of favor due to their negative impact on type and feel. Pretty much why nobody uses them anymore. However, the Neo75 is high density copper bottom effectively suppresses those vibrations, allowing us to review this once popular style with improvements. I'm really hoping they put more of their focus on making the gasket mounting sound top tier. We have innovatively combined gasket and bottom mount by wrapping the mounting screw with gaskets. Nothing new, we've seen stuff like this before. I appreciate the option here. I don't want to judge this quite yet, but there is a solder, a wired hot swap, and then a tri-mode hot swap. They are all 1.6 mil. And then there's some compatibility. And then we have plate with distinct characteristics. Well, they're offering carbon fiber, alu, FR4, POM, and PP. And then specifications. This is where this keyboard gets fucking sick, dude. 7-degree typing angle, 16.8 millimeter front height. 16.8. Ooh, I am so here for that. And then these are all the colors, anode versus spray coated. So we have tones, we got silver, we got black, we got gray, we got navy, purple, burgundy, green, gray gold, cornflower, and then in the spray coated series, we got cream, retro white, and white. A keyboard that smiles back at you, dude. And then we got some different accent badges too. This is the copper unit today, it's silver and copper. I can imagine this being maybe a smidge more expensive. All right, let's take a look at what's inside the box here. So we got, I think these are the Owl Labs stabs or the Neo stabs. Aluminum plate. I'm guessing this is the PP plate. And then we have a hot swap PCB, a cable in the box, screws, the gasket, and I think more screws. We have feetsies, and then we have the board. This might be the heaviest Neo board I think I've picked up. It's gonna be a bit of a lackluster opening now. I didn't know it was wrapped in plastic. Now, normally blockers, I don't know, I feel like meh and I don't know, pressed by blockers sometimes. It's a nice blocker actually, good damn. I forgot it smiles at me. I don't know why, dude. It's just funny to look at. It's cool. I don't mind it, but that is sharp looking. Ooh, I do like this design a lot. I love this when people extend the bottom up on the front lip over here. I think that's super sharp looking already. You can tell how low this goes. Oh, this is indeed a nice side profile. Oh, that is sharp. That does look good, dude. That is very, very cool. It's not so deep. Like, I think this sonnet definitely is a little bit more contoured in that sense, but I do like the way this looks a lot. Damn, that is pretty. And then you can kind of see how it just curves into the back, which I think is a nice touch. This looks really good as well. Again, kind of peeking through with that copper or brass, whatever material you get. There was like a bunch of different styles. Piece of plastic still on this, but this is such a crazy step up from where Neoline started. And dude, that's what I've been saying, right? Like my biggest piece of like, I'm applauding them right now. They're now, it looks like, spending more time with each individual release and designing things to be a little bit more exciting. It's not just release board that has flat profile and everything to make cheap and call it a day. This is really, really nice. And this has a catchball system, right? So let's see, I don't know how easy or hard this will be to, oh, very easy. Love the catchball system a lot. I know some people are still not huge fans of it. I like it. And as you guys can see here, they haven't skipped on anything either. So just like the Ergo and a lot of other past releases, it does have some silicone corners here, so no scratching or anything happens or anything like that. It even has, you know, your little bit of a force brake over here too, which is good to see. Yeah, and you have your pogo pin connectors over there as well. And he's even smiling at you. I'm guessing these are what, an additional weight on the inside. I think non-battery versions come standard with the weight. Okay. Yeah, they don't really have that in the Notion dock. Judging by this spec list, it does look like they're saying this comes included, which again, I want to know a final, like even a rough estimate price of this. That would be sick if I could get that. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that on stream today. I didn't realize they didn't have pricing in the pricing area. That's my mistake. I do love this badge though. Again, maybe blockers aren't your thing, but this is really cool. I like that a lot. Quality of the anode is pretty nice. No, but dude, look at the compatibility on the PCB. Good for them. I don't know if this was the same thing on the TKL that they did, but there seems to be a lot here. We got ISO, we got split, we got different space bars, we have split left. Good for them. I'm always applauding when people can do a lot of different layouts on a hot swap PCB. So I think we are going to use the W1 diamond switches. All right, I think we use the PP, right? Are you guys down for that? It looks like they've avoided putting any mounting points underneath the spacebar. Already off to a good start there, it seems. Damn, I'm pumped to try this right now. The copper's well machined. I'm gonna start off with gasket. I feel like that's the better decision right now. The gaskets just slip on like every other gasket from Neo here. So right now it's gonna be kind of like a twofer for installation, which I think is quite nice. I think it's a very smart design decision. So you still have the gaskets. Now I really hope this doesn't impact how the gaskets will sound. Like I don't know if this could have been better. Maybe if they just ignored the bottom mount. Good on them for not putting anything under the space bar. Installation wise, I mean, this just goes like this. It slots in a lines because it has little pegs here on the bottom, these little feet on the bottom of the gaskets. Aligns nice. No wires to worry about because we have the magnetic connector here on the bottom. I love me these pogo connectors. That is so handy. Look at this. The Neo series is also so freaking easy. There's no screws in this. No, none at all. Well, there's technically screws if you want to screw in things if you really feel like it. But yes, there's technically screws, but to get the board built, you don't need to worry about them. I'm really rooting for this, by the way, guys. I really like the way this board looks, so I'm very much rooting this is going to sound good. Here's the side profile with keycaps. I think this looks really good. Here's that front again, with the weight kind of just peeking out. I love that when boards do that. I think that looks really sharp. Here is the bottom once again. There's many different types of bottom pieces that they have. I guess you'll be able to select that on their buy page. I like the bottom of this board, the kind of two-tone keyboard over here with some dimension to it. I think this looks really cool. I think this is way ahead of some of the other Neo boards. And again, what I really like, which maybe this was intentional, maybe it wasn't, this kind of design over here where they kind of split the middle is also present here on the bottom. You can kind of see over here too. I kind of like how that, is translated from the back, or I guess this is considered the back to the bottom. So I like that. It's kind of cohesive in that manner. Even this is well done. Might not be everyone's cup of tea to keep something there, but all right, here we go. Spacebar does sound a little different from the left to the right. Alphas are great. I actually like the spacebar when it's hitting correctly, but it does feel like I don't think the plate's damaged at all, but it does feel like it's a little bit heavier on the left side. Perhaps the palm is causing this to not seat 100%. I'm also concerned that the hot swap socket might be maybe touching the bottom over here. I don't know if that's, for sure. Alphas are very, 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 very good. You know what it could be too, guys? It looks like the stab didn't seat 110% here. It might have been user error. The Neo stabs, yeah. Yeah, that's a lot better. Sounds pretty damn good to me. Yeah, the Neo stab clip isn't exactly, it didn't spring as much as I've noticed as the other ones. All right, let's give this another really fair shot here. I don't know, man. I think this sounds great. Okay, the gasket mount sounds phenomenal. I really like the PP plate with the long poles. I think if I was going with a regular switch, I'd probably still go with aluminum. It has a really nice deep tonality. It's very comfortable to type on too because of this really low front height, by the way. This is making this extremely comfortable. I mean, you guys can kind of see it's like soft enough. So I don't think you're going to be able to get this as rigid as maybe you'd want it if you're more into a rigid type of experience. I would say this is exactly in the middle. Not exactly soft, not exactly firm. I really think the copper bottom plus the stainless steel, probably even the brass would sound very, very close. The stainless steel weights in this mixed with the big old bottoms here being copper or brass, I think is an excellent decision. Very nice, extremely easy to assemble, extremely easy to tinker with as well. So now I guess let's do these bottom mounts. We'll see if this sounds any good. So we're gonna quickly push these in here and then we'll screw it in for bottom. Easy enough to install. I think uninstalling these should be pretty easy too. You just gotta take them out. Although this seems like a better task to assemble than disassemble. Hold on, I just want to test something. This is a bit odd, but would you guys say this sounds different with those little inserts? Let's just say that you do bottom mount and you don't want to disassemble little inserts. It does sound a bit different, right? Or am I going crazy? It does? Okay, maybe I'm not going crazy. Yeah, okay, so if you did want to go bottom mount, but you didn't want to have to uninstall these little inserts every single time, you could just leave them in as like a way to change the sound profile too. Because the way this is sitting, you see how it's not exactly flush with the gasket? You see that, guys? They're coned, right? So they're meant to kind of slot into these, and then you screw it in. So maybe that's just another way you can somewhat alter the sound of this keyboard if you didn't want to go maybe in between type thing. I think it's good that it sounds the same, because I think the last thing I would want is for it to sound bad if someone was just, not willing to want to put in the extra legwork there. But it's bottom mount time. I don't know how I feel about this. All right, bottom mount. I don't know why I'm doubting this so much. Personal bias, I guess. I don't think the sound is bad. I do not like the way this feels. Yeah, the sound's not bad. There's a lot of vibration coming through with this, by the way. At least I can feel it. I'm not sold on this. I'm not sold on the bottom mount. Maybe that's your cup of tea. Thank goodness it looks like the gaskets had more of the thought put into them. The bottom mount sort of feels like an afterthought, second choice type thing, just to add another mount in. I'm not a fan, personally. Again, not so much the sound. I think the sound actually for this particular mounting doesn't sound too bad. It doesn't have the tonality I think it did as the gasket, but really, really not a huge fan of the feeling. This is such a weird way to describe it. It feels very like wooden and stiff, even though it's not supposed to be. And then you kind of get like a lot of feedback to your fingers. I think it sounds way better with just the gaskets. Yeah, and also just, I don't know, the feeling just so much better. Better typing experience, for me anyways. I don't like the assembly of these. I think this is all a bit awkward, considering how much thought and effort was put into the board for making this really easy. I know it doesn't really require any special tools or anything, but a little awkward on the installation of those bottom mounts. Maybe the most negative thing I can say about this whole entire project. But the gasket's phenomenal on this. This sounds really good and feels really, really damn good. I think, depending on what the finalized price point of this is, keep it a buck with you guys, I think this is a pretty easy pickup. I think Neo has really found their stride with this stuff. The Ergo took me by surprise. And you have to understand too, like the Ergo, I feel like I was more shocked at the Ergo being good because I was so just impartial with a lot of the QK stuff. Like it did a good job, and the Neo lineup did a fine job too. And the Neo, even again, looking at QK and Neo combined, like everything was just like, it was okay. Like it was good stuff for what it was. The Ergo impressed me. The Ergo, I feel like they took a step back and they rethought of everything they're doing. I feel like this is the same direction. I couldn't be happier with this. I really hope the price point isn't too different from what, the overseas price points are. So again, that around the $210, $20 range. This is fantastic. It looks so good. The gaskets on this feel really good. The placements of the gaskets, really, really good. I'm glad they stuck with one. It's fine that they added the other one here. I don't know if that was for me. Like, I really think that was a bit of a miss. But again, just like the Ergo, they focused in on one mounting style for the most part. Again, I know there's two, but it feels like they kind of just stuck it on just because. And I like what they're doing. I want them to keep on this train of just making really awesome designs with all the stuff they're already doing, pushing the boundary and just kind of getting things like out there. I think they knocked it out of the park with this one here too. See you guys very, very soon. Love you and bye-bye, everybody.